Why do 70% of people never question the trails in the sky? Let's dive into chemtrails. It's called geoengineering. Sounds suspicious, right? Chemtrails are not condensation. They're a cocktail with over 49 ingredients, including aluminum oxide particles, arsenic, barium, bacilli and mold, bionatal particles, bromium, cadmium, chromium, cobalt, ethylene dibromide, enterobacteria Ce, lead, manganese, mercury, methyl aluminum, nano-aluminum coated fiberglass, nanoparticles, nitrogen trifluoride, polymer fibers, radioactive cesium, radioactive thorium, reduced graphene oxides, synthetic polymers, selenium, strontium, submicron particles, uranium, yellow fungal mycotoxins, fluoride and much more designed to do more than alter the weather, billions of tiny particles raining down on us, infiltrating our bodies and minds. According to recent findings, these substances could enhance phonon-based consciousness harvesting. Translation: mind control on a massive scale. Still think those streaks in the sky are innocent? Experts warn that these particles can interfere with natural brain functions, potentially making us more susceptible to external influence. It's not just science fiction, it's a chilling reality. Next time you look up and see those trails, remember, they are more than just sky art. Stay informed, stay educated, and stay tuned to Brains and Babes for more information.
A lot of new people who want to know what this is and why it's happening. Can you give us an introduction?
Yeah, again, the term geoengineering, aka chemtrails, that are the layman's term for what we see happening in the skies, but this is weather modification on a global scale. In fact, these programs are so large and so all-encompassing that all other weather modification programs that go on a smaller regional basis are virtually, they're negated by the scope and scale of the global geoengineering programs. And these programs involve a number of aspects. You have the saturation of the atmosphere with various chemical and metal particulates. And there appear to be various purposes and objectives with this saturation. In conjunction with the saturation, which ionizes the atmosphere, it makes the atmosphere more conductive, we have the HAARP facilities, High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. These are ionosphere heaters. Many have heard of the HAARP facilities. There's not just one or two or three. We believe there's at least 18 around the globe, possibly with 3 more being built in Antarctica right now. And once the atmosphere is saturated with these particulates, and then you add the ionosphere heaters, the entire weather system globally is virtually being thwarted. There is no natural weather at this point, and we really don't know what sort of climate conditions we would have necessarily if these programs were brought to a halt, and they desperately need to be brought to a halt, because the saturation of the atmosphere is thwarting the hydrological cycle. It's totally disrupting the rain cycle. Again, we have the artificially nucleated snowstorms, which I just mentioned. You can't go from 100 degrees to snow in one day without a whole lot of help. This includes jet stream manipulation with the HAARP facilities, and we are not guessing at this. We have monitoring sources for this signal, and we can see where the signal is most intense, and that's what steers the jet stream. So then you add artificial ice nucleation, which is a chemical nucleation process. They can turn what should have been rain into snow and drop the temperatures of these storm systems by this artificial chemical nucleation. This isn't sci-fi, this is hard science fact. The weather disseminating agencies are trying desperately their task, and they're all owned at the very top, it appears, by the Rothschilds and or other parts of the global elite complex. Rothschilds in particular are ownership of Weather Channel, Weather Central, Weather Underground. And it was imperative that they own these agencies, otherwise there would be great discrepancy in trying to explain away these events.
All right.
Weather modification company confirmed that planes in Texas did release silver iode into the atmosphere 2 days before the floods. But he also explained why he says scientifically it does not mean that the two events are connected. Watch this.
We're talking about like sub-centimeter amounts of precipitation, be it in snow or rain from every event, which in aggregate can mean hundreds of acre feet, which is very consequential for farmers and ecosystems, but cannot come close to causing flooding onto it.
We spray sulfuric acid in the stratosphere 20 kilometers over our head and use that to stop the planet warming up in a kind of ugly tech fix.
You could spray something into the atmosphere to change.
Spray pollution into the atmosphere to stop it warming.
How do you do this?
You start with a fleet of modified business jets and say 20,000 tons of sulfuric acid into the stratosphere every year. And each year you have to put a little more. And this doesn't, in the long run, mean that you can forget about cutting emissions. We will need to rein in.
No, we'll get to it eventually. In the meantime, we're shrouding the earth in sulfuric acid.
So people are terrified about talking about this because they're scared that it will prevent us cutting emissions.
Right, and also that it's sulfuric acid.
We put 50 million tons of sulfuric acid in the air now as pollution, and it kills 1 million people a year worldwide.
Okay, but it'll be better if we put more in.
We're talking about 1% of that.
1% more, we're just killing 10,000 more people.
You can do math.
What happens to the sulfuric acid after it's sprayed? Does it just stay up there?
No, it rains down, but it's a tiny addition to what we're already doing.
Is there any possible way this could come back to bite us in the end?
It actually turns out to be an old idea. This was known since President Johnson.
You ever look at those planes up there? They have contrails behind them. Maybe all those planes with the contrails, maybe they're actually spraying chemicals into the atmosphere right now, and Uncle Sam isn't telling us.
Seems extremely unlikely.
That the United States is not telling something to its citizens, that seems extremely likely.
Alles ganz normal. Was hier so vor unserer Sonne abgeht. Guck mal, da ist die Sonne. Hier machen wir so eine Spielchen. Da oben kommt der nächste durch. Der hat sein Ding schon gelassen. Der auch. Da drüben unsere zwei Parallelstreifen von links nach rechts. Und treffen genau das Kreuz. Und wenn mir jetzt einer erzählen will, dass das originale Flugstrecken sind, dann bitte.
Geoengineering really scares me because it seems like we're starting to play God a bit. And I see the videos of chemtrails, that are coming out, and I think this is part of geoengineering. The farmers over in England are saying, look at the skies, and now it's going to be cloudy in 30 minutes, and it's cloudy, and they were having all kinds of problems. Can you tell me what's true and what's not?
So when I first got confirmed, I sat down here at the agency with people and told them everything that I can know, everything that this agency knows about these topics, I want us to communicate with the public. Everything that I know as the EPA administrator should be communicated transparently with the American public, whatever the answer is, wherever the facts lie. We posted last month on the EPA website, epa.gov/geoengineering, a lot of the answers I received on this topic. And there has been government funding that's gone towards some of these efforts. There are entities and people who would want to drastically scale these activities up. I agree with you with your concern just with the idea of playing God. The solar radiation modification, stratospheric aerosol injection, marine cloud brightening. There are these activities to make changes to the stratosphere or the lower atmosphere and try to deflect sun rays from hitting the Earth to instead send it back into space. And in the case of stratospheric aerosol injection, you're talking about putting sulfur dioxide, a lot of it, for a long time, into the upper atmosphere, which, by the way, turns into acid rain. There are real health concerns with regards to these activities. And it's not like, it's thoroughly studied, it's approved, it's trusted, it's vetted. Instead, you have people who just want to do it on their own, like try to get themselves, someone to hand over $1 billion to just go dump a whole bunch of sulfur dioxide into the stratosphere. And no, that doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound right, and it shouldn't happen.
No, it doesn't.
Now I want to start raining. You just want to be in my video. And now it's raining.
My kind of skywriter. They are lying to you. They're dead serious. Oh yeah, there was one over there saying they're lying to you and they're doing it again. They are lying to you.
They are definitely lying to you. They lied to you about the so-called chemtrails. They said it was not harmful. They lied to you about geoengineering, weather modifications. They lied to you about the harmful shots that was given to people, right? They lied to you about that. They lied to you about your government. They lied to you about not having any shadowy government that is running the world behind the scene. As a matter of fact, they're no longer so shadowy anymore. They're right in your face in these days and time. And now, dealing with the chemtrails, if I've said it before, I'll say it again. We are under attack, people. We are under attack. And they're coming at you with everything they've got. They're coming at you through the air, on land, radio frequencies, right? Technology with the 5Gs and things like that, right? They are coming at you with everything they've got. Even you can't forget about the directed energy weapons, the DEW, right? All from all angles, pretty much. And it's time for you to wake up and smell the coffee. It's time for you to understand the threat you're under. Because ignorance is not a bliss. You being ignorant of it doesn't negate the fact that they're doing it. It doesn't exempt you from the effects of it, right? Because a lot of people think if you ignore something, it goes away, or it wouldn't affect you. Nah, it does affect you. So you being willfully ignorant is not doing you any good. You have to understand this. That's why they're saying they're lying to you. Everybody's lying to you. Your government is lying to you. Your president is lying to you, right? The healthcare system is lying to you, definitely lying to you. The school systems are lying to you, right? History, even history, they have tweaked history to lie to you. See, this is the thing we're under, and the only thing that can set you free is the truth, because the truth, lies are like sandcastle, right? It looks good, but all it takes is a little pressure, a little bit of pressure to bring the whole thing down. But that's lies for you, and that truth will put pressure on lies, and it will bring it all down. It comes crumbling down, right? So understand that, and understand that you are under attack. Some serious, nefarious plans to destroy you by any means necessary. They lied to you about the GMOs. Now they're looking to feed you GMOs. They told you it's good, right? They're lying to you, looking to block out the suns and things like that. How crazy can you be to block out the sun? You got to be out of your mind to think so. So these individuals are destroying the earth, and you saw the birds dropping. These birds dropping out of the sky. So these are the effects of what it is, whatever it is. I mean, I put together a couple of clips to show you what it is that they're spraying in the sky, all the heavy metals that they're spraying in the sky. I can't even pronounce half of them, right? That's how crazy it is. And this stuff, they come down, they intermingle with our bodies, they intermingle with our soil, they intermingle with our livestock. Look at the birds are paying the price for that, right? You can imagine the damage it's doing inside of your body. I remember before Prince died, on TV, he talked about the chemtrails and how they sprayed in the neighborhoods, and before you know it, people are fighting, right? It's just things, it messes with your mind. That's part of the clips that I included. They're going into how it F's with your mind, really. So the whole earth is being destroyed by all of this so-called inventions, all of these crazy technologies. This is the book of Revelations, the 11th chapter and the 18th verse in the NLT. It says, the nations were filled with wrath, but now the time of your wrath has come. It is the time to judge the dead and reward your servants, the prophets, as well as your holy people, and all who fear your name, from the least to the greatest. It is a time to destroy all who caused destruction on the earth. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachaha Kodash. Double honors to apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and continue to teach us this truth. Peace, salutation, shalom, shalom, shalom to all your brothers and sisters out there that are of the household of faith, beginning with 144,000 down to the men, women, and children that are allotted to be delivered in these latter days, who are all of the elect, and to the brothers that are pushing this gospel in all sincerity and in all honesty. To you all I say shalom, right? So right here in the book of Revelation, the 11th chapter, the 18th verse is saying, it is time to destroy all who have caused destruction on the earth. And chemtrails is a part of that. It's a heavy part of that. The geoengineering, man playing God, trying to tweak the atmosphere and do whatever it is they want to do with it. You know, and the effects of that is destroying the earth, polluting the earth, right? All in the guise of, oh, we're trying to save the planet from climate change and whatever the hell excuses that they make up out there. They are destroying the earth. That is exactly what they're doing, right? That's why people are sicker than they've ever been, because of all this craziness that they keep doing to our earth, right? This wicked individuals, they're evil to the core. They have no other things to do but just destroy the earth. And they'll come out and look you in the face and, yeah, we're doing this. We're trying to block out the sun. We're trying to do this. It's all because of your good. On one hand, they're trying to unalive you through the population agenda. And on another hand, they're talking about saving the planet for the, for the greater good. So which is it? It is because it is the same thing. So there are ways of trying to, quote unquote, save the planet is actually going hand in hand with them unaliving you, reducing the population. That's what it is. So it is time for them to be destroyed, those that have destroyed the earth. Bill Gates and his likes, right? Guys like that. I mean, he's just a minion, but all the same, he's the face of it. You think about him, you think about all kinds of things he's done. Buying up farmlands is the poster child for GMO everything, GMO corn and GMO this, and now he's claiming cows give off 6% methane emissions, and we're supposed to change cows. Throughout the history of mankind, there's always been cows, right? Now here he comes trying to change them, change cows and things like that, trying to give you lab-grown meats and things like that, right? Like, who died and made you president, man? Who died and made you the spokesperson for every living thing? That's what they do. Once they have all the money that their heart can wish, they have all the power, they start thinking like, oh, we can do anything we wanna. Block out the sun, check. Put something in your arm, check. You see? This is the book of Psalms, the 82nd chapter. Let's start at the 4th verse. It says, deliver the poor and needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked. This is what we're praying for, man. For Yahweh Hashem Yahushai to rid us out of the hand of the wicked. Because look at what they are doing. Look at what they're doing to us. All the heavy metals that we have to inhale, doing God knows what to our immune system, to our bodies, man, jacking us up. Cancer rates are all-time high. The food is crap. The air is crap. The water is crap. Who's doing all of this? The wicked. That's why we need to be rid out of their hands. Because they can do no good. Don't you know no good? Obviously, they know no good. And they can do no good. Right? It says, they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. You see that? So all the foundations, nothing as it should be. To the point where they are looking to, the sun is there for a reason. They're looking to block it out. Right? They're changing a boy to a girl and the girl to a boy and telling you that's the way it's supposed to be. Right? Changing everything. Nothing is as it should be. We are living in a bizarro, upside down world. That's exactly what we're seeing. We're living in a bizarro, upside down world. That's what the scripture is saying. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. Nothing is as it should be. Everything is out of whack. If they're not destroying it, they're tweaking it to be something else. See? Tweaking it to be something else, and it has to come to an end, man. It has to come to an abrupt end. So I will pray to be rid from the hands of the wicked. This is the book of Isaiah, the 24th chapter and the 1st verse. It says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away, the haughty people of the earth do languish. So the earth is mourning and fading away. Why? Because all the pollutions they're doing to it, man. They're jacking the earth up as we speak right now. All throughout the planet, there's this chemtrails everywhere you look. It's not an isolated case. It's a global thing. That's why it's called the global agenda, the globalists. They're not just doing this in a westernized world somewhere or third world country somewhere. They're doing it everywhere. See? That's why the earth is mourning and it's fading away. You see, the whole place is all messed up. The earth is not yielding like it's supposed to. The earth is not flourishing like it's supposed to. Right? So it's languishing away and fading away. Remember we read earlier in Revelations, the 11th chapter, and the 18th verse, to destroy them that destroy the earth. So by them destroying the earth, the way they do is mourning. It is mourning and is fading away. The 5th verse, it says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenant. What is that? Blocking out the sun, because the sun is supposed to come up in the morning, right? In the morning the sun comes up, and at night it goes down. Now they don't want it so. They're looking to block it out. What is that? They are transgressing the laws and changing the ordinance, the way things were set up. The crops were supposed to eat natural crops. Your fruits are supposed to have seeds in it. Well, they've changed that also, and they give you seedless watermelon GMO crap. See? A man is supposed to be a man, and a woman is supposed to be a woman. A man is supposed to live with a woman, that's that, and give birth to children. But it's all topsy-turvy right now. Nothing is the way it's supposed to be. They've changed the ordinance and broken the everlasting covenant. That's why the earth is languishing and fading away. Nothing is as it should be. So therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and a few men left. So ultimately there have to be a cleansing of the earth. And that cleansing is going to happen by way of fire. That's why I say the earth is burned and a few men left. That is a judgment day. I'll show you that in the movie Terminator. Judgment day, where the fire came in and swooped in. That's your devouring fire, right? That devouring fire will consume everything in its path, so that the earth will stop being destroyed and languishing away. For with that fire, it will cleanse the earth and bring it back to a pristine state. It says, the new wine mourneth, and the vine languisheth, all the merry-hearted do sigh. That's what is happening right now. Even when you're trying to be, catch the vibe and be a little bit happy and enjoy the moment, and then eternal worries come to you. Remember, oh man, you got these bills to pay, you got to go to work, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to pay your taxes, right? You don't have enough to feed your family. So even when you're trying to be merry-hearted, you're sighing. So the hell we are catching on the planet, man. The hell we are catching on the earth. Nobody is really enjoying nothing. The human experience has turned to shit. Excuse my French. It says, the mirth of tabrets ceaseth. The noise of them that rejoice endeth. The joy of the harp ceaseth. That's still going, echoing the same sentiment. You are not enjoying nothing anymore in the earth, because it's totally destroyed. You can't enjoy nothing else. As a matter of fact, a lot of us can't even afford to enjoy anything. See? So being in the mirth, partying and bullshitting, all that is coming to an end, because you can't even afford to do so. It says, they shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. In other words, here it is, you're trying to kick back and get nice a little bit. But even when you're drinking, you still can't shake the pressure. Right? Under pressure. Right? You still can't shake the pressure you're under. Because you're supposed to drink wine and be happy and laugh and, feel good. But even at that, you can't do that no more, because you still got a lot on your mind. You have a lot to deal with. See? So it says, strong drink shall be better to them that drink it. So you're trying to drink strong drink so you can forget your worries. But as a matter of fact, the strong drinks ends up compounding your worries, man. That's the times we're in, right? And it goes on to that, the city of confusion is broken down, every house is shut up, that no man may come in. What is that? That is Babylon, confusion, Babel. That's what America is known as, the city of confusion. That's where they tell you that a boy can be a girl and a girl can be a boy, and put women over men, and all the craziness that comes with Babylon. That is confusion, right? Feed you GMO crap. That is confusion. They tell you can worship anything you want to worship. Do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. That is confusion. You see? It goes on to say there is a crying for wine in the streets. So this wine right here is talking about the truth, the gospel, right? The knowledge, the wisdom and knowledge that you can get from the word of the Lord. So the people are crying for the word of the Lord because all the crazy things that are happening around them, because it goes on to say that every house is shut up, that no man may come in, going into when they will declare martial law. Martial law will be declared, and everywhere will be blocked off. You can't go nowhere. So when that starts happening, when all hell starts breaking loose, people remember there was a time where people in the streets were warning you about these things, the prophets. So you start crying, start looking for, then you wouldn't have it, because very soon you won't get the truth, and not on the streets or neither in the internet highways, right? Because they're looking to stifle the truth, which is still biblical prophecy, because it tells you that a time will come where there will be a famine of the word. In other words, you will hunger to get the word, but you won't see it. So that's crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. That's where we are. And it's going to get incrementally crazier. As time goes on, the mirth of the land is gone to the point where people would just be through out in the streets, in their homes, not knowing no answer. They don't know where to turn to. There's all the chaos, the destruction that is happening. A lot of people be having dreams about that these days, man. And they're all on social media sharing their dreams. There's too many of them now. Why? Because we're getting close. Again, we are seriously close to all hell breaking loose out in the streets. Because when the mirth will be really gone. You see? I mean, this is just a little quick something on how we are under attack from all angles, especially from the air, in regards to this lesson, the chemtrails and all of them things, the geoengineering and things like that. Hopefully you've been edified by that. And I say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to apostles and elders of Great Millstone. See you next time, Lord willing. Shalom. Shalom.